Hello everybody, this is Perderder and welcome to my channel. Today, we have a very special episode and we're diving headfirst into a challenge that has sprung up across the City Skylines community. That's right, I will be tackling City Planner Play's One Tile City Challenge. We will be using none of the cheese and we're aiming to smash City Planner Play's population record of 2,644. Alright, let's get into it. First thing is first, we're maximizing every inch of this tile. No corner of that beach is going unused, and we are absolutely going to fill it up. And as for our road planning strategy, we're taking a page out of Saudi Arabia's book with the one road city approach. This will be a one-way road setup so that we can maximize all the tile space. After that, I managed to fit the water pump station right off the coast of the beach it used to be. I placed the sewage as close to the other corner as possible, hoping there won't be a cross-contamination later. For power, I'm using the wind turbine as it takes up the least amount of usable tiles. I'll go ahead and place it right next to the roundabout. I zoned the entirety of the tiles with residential units to get the sim start moving in. My plan is to keep demolishing and replacing the low density zone with higher and higher density ones as the city grows. For commercial zones, I started to place a couple of them around the dead corners. I wanted to let the residential buildings to fully construct before redeveloping them. With the first milestone achieved, I started to plot the row houses and the remainder of the empty tiles. I also added a couple more commercial buildings to make sure the demand is taken care of. Then, I tackled the industrial buildings. Since the wind is blowing towards the ocean, it makes the most sense to place these buildings at the end of the city. At this point, I will stop building the single-family homes and focus on populating the unconstructed areas. The main focus is to maximize the row houses so more Sims move in while plotting the commercial and industrial buildings as the demand for them come up. It is crucial to satisfy commercial and industrial demands at this stage so that we have more demands for the residential buildings. After letting the rest of the zone finish construction, I will start replacing the low-density housing with row houses along the end of the city. I'm just going to do it bit by bit according to the demand chart. If I demolish anything more, the Sims will start moving out, and we don't really want that. Until we reach our next milestone, this will just be a game of juggling the demand chart for each zone. When the demand for medium density house go up, I replace the low density homes. I will also only replace low density residential zones with commercial ones. As for the industrial buildings, I focus on them along the entrance of the city. You can probably tell by now that I did not place any city services. I am also not planning to do so until a major issue from the city arises. As the mayor who wants to maximize the most amount of population, there is simply no place for these useless services right now. I realized if I just waited for the city to gain residential demands naturally, it will probably take forever before it actually goes up. Instead of waiting, I find it's more effective if I just demolish zones with lower demand and replacing them with higher ones. As you can see, I did that here by slowly demolishing the lower residential areas and then replacing them with commercial, industrial, and even the row houses. One thing that does increase a bit slowly without cheesing the game is the milestone experience points. I can only rely on citizen happiness and population growth to reach the next. And with the next milestone achieved, this will be the start of really packing our Sims like sardines, because we just unlocked low density apartments. At this point, I will also stop building the row houses and only build apartments as the demand rises. I won't touch the row houses just yet until all the single family homes are replaced. Until we reach level 4 and unlock the high-density, low-income apartments, there's really not much else we can do except the game of juggling of placing each zone as their demand increases. Just keep in mind to focus putting in apartments right away as the demand comes up. And of course, don't forget about your city demands of electricity. One thing that I find kind of funny is my city started becoming a little segregated between the three major zones. The industrial zone being at the entrance because of the wind direction, which makes some sense because of the pollution, but the commercial zones got packed into the center portion without me even realizing it. And because I focus on only upgrading the single family homes at the end of the city, All the apartments were also located there now. Although maybe this orientation isn't too big of a deal because there's only a single one-directional street in this city. As I reached the half-hour mark of this challenge, I realized the only way to increase the residential demand is by constructing more commercial industrial buildings. I just decided to commit a mass exodus of the single-family homes in favor of jobs. The result were almost immediate as the residential demand spiked right away. And because now there is a demand, I can replace the remainder of the low-density housing with the apartments. I will also begin slowly replacing the row houses as well. At this point, I realized just how much of a traffic problem I have at the roundabout. This is probably a combination of people trying to get back into the city and people coming in and out of it. I think it is time to do something about it. The plan is to have 2 designated lanes to enter and exit back into the city, which meant I needed to unlock the advanced rule tool. This just to make sure that these lanes goes to the direction that they need to be. After I replaced most of the row houses and all the single family homes, I came to a point where I got a little stuck with commercial and industrial demands. The residential demand was not increasing at all, and I had no time to waste if I wanted to beat City Planner Place population. I decided to do the unthinkable, demolish the industrial buildings and replacing them with commercial buildings when commercial demand is high. Then, I would do the exact opposite and vice versa when the demand for industrial buildings are high. I did not build any new apartments as some of them are not even completely filled. As I did this strategy to trick the game, the residential demand slowly and surely increased. With about 18 minutes left of this challenge, I started to plot the high-density, low-income apartments. Here's the kicker though. No matter how much I tried to trick the game with the strategy I was using, the high-density residential demand just won't increase. In fact, the only high-density residential building that was built was not even occupied by a single sim. I'm not quite sure what is going on, but I quickly decided to demolish and replace it with the low-density apartments. Then, as I was replacing buildings with low-density apartments all over the place, the high-density demand suddenly spiked. I really do not know what triggered it, and if you know, please comment below. Because of the sudden spike in demand, I also plotted in several high-density apartments again, and this time they had people moving in. Continuing with the strategy of balancing the commercial and industrial demand like on a teeter-totter, the population slowly but surely reached over 2,644. Why is this important, you may ask? Because this is City Planner Place population at the end of his challenge, which means we beat him without cheesing. But wait, I am not yet satisfied with this number. I will aim for an even higher record that can blow this right out to the moon. Let's aim for 3,000. I know I won't be able to make it to level 5 for mixed-use buildings, so I did the only thing I knew how to do. Keep demolishing and rebuilding the industrial and commercial zones. As the mayor of this city, I fully approve of this really cost-effective financial strategy to bring in more citizens. I found every nook and cranny possible to place in the last buildings.
I love you 3,000.
And we did it. We absolutely smashed through the 3,000.
I said, oh Lord Jesus, it's a fire.
Oh crap, there's a fire. With my quick thinking, I've placed a fire station, but my smooth brain placed it on the wrong side of the building. Now the fire trucks have to drive all the way around the city to reach here. With just 5 minutes left of the challenge, the population of my city started to decline after the fire incident, and just when I thought there was nothing I can do to save my record, the high-density residential demand came saving the day. Without even wasting another second, I quickly rezoned a few commercial districts for them. Jobs? Who cares about jobs when I'm so close to the finish line? With just a minute left, I double-checked, triple-checked, even quadruple-checked things to make sure nothing goes wrong. And then, it was over. I did it. I ended with 3,132 population in this 1 hour challenge. I have beat City's Planner Place record and blew it through the roof. My city ended with being 70% adults in the span of 3 months in game time. What is really interesting is how the number of people unemployed in my city. With the way I was destroying and rebuilding businesses, it resulted in almost a 30% unemployment rate across my city. You can really tell around August, where I was so dead set on beating City Planner's play record, I had no regards about the job stability of my Sims. But hey, I had to do what I had to do. I want to especially thank Cities Planner Plays for this amazing and fun challenge, and also for inspiring me to create my channel. I would also love to thank my viewers who took their time out today to watch my video. If you loved what you saw, please give me a like, comment below, and subscribe to my channel. If you're also interested, please check out my other videos as well. Thank you so much and have a nice day.